Can you tell us about the single unified approach?
Yes, well this was very much the theme of our Chairman Martin Dunford's speech earlier on. And what we're talking about here is that we have three separate departments all working what we believe is a single agenda. You've got business, innovation and skills, looking at adult skills, most adults being in work. You've got DWP looking at the unemployed adult market, and you've got DFE looking at young people but moving into 16 to 18-year-olds who may or may not be at work. Now, our training providers, our members, see all of those as their audience, and whether we're actually getting people into work, back into work, or progressing them in work, it's like the same agenda. And what we're actually calling for is for those three different departments to have a single strategy which covers all of their work. I mean, stay three departments if they want, I'm not going to go into that, but let's have a single strategy which is consistent across, because that's what our members actually have to work out day in, day out, but have contracts with all of them. We work out what is a single agenda for us. So it really is a plea for a bit more joined up government. And with a coalition government, with two separate political parties coming together, we think it's not unreasonable at this stage to say, well, can we actually have a joined up strategy across government departments as well?
And you mentioned previously pre-apprenticeship and bridging.
Yeah, pre-apprenticeships we think is very, very important. There's been a hole for some time, we believe, in the provision, primarily for young people, but not only young people, back to the single audience really. Predominantly for young people though, there's a gap in what do they do other than full-time off-the-job education in sixth form or college, which are fine, but what do they do when they're not yet into a job? And a lot of people want to start really getting ready for work and developing skills and so on. And we believe there's a massive need for something in advance of apprenticeships, but is increasingly developed in the workplace. So we're generally calling this a pre-apprenticeship something. And I was delighted that the Minister John Hayes this morning also agreed that there needs to be a pre-apprenticeship something. He doesn't quite know what it is. We're not quite sure, though we have some ideas, and he very much asked us today to engage with him in designing a pre-apprenticeship module which will actually get people ready to progress into full level 2, full level 3 apprenticeships. So that was really quite exciting for us this morning, because we have been saying that gap's been around for many a long year, and we seem to have a skills minister now who agrees with us and is prepared to develop something new. So we're up for that discussion and that debate. Bridging was also interesting, and I thought this came up in two forms this morning. It was also to make sure that we do promote progression from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4, to actually get people to move up as their ability and their aspirations allow, up through the qualifications and indeed the apprenticeship ladder. But there was also another element there which was bridging across different sectors, and I think there was an emphasis coming up here on the need for what I'll call generic skills, which actually go across all sectors, all occupations, and employers are increasingly saying they're the most important of all. Give us someone to develop generic skills, we'll then add the technical specialisms on within our own company. Generic skills, bridging between sectors, growing importance.
And we also had an announcement about key and functional skills. What's your take on that?
Well, that was very interesting, wasn't it? Standing ovation halfway through a ministerial speech. I'm sure the Minister enjoyed that, but rightly so. We have been really worried for some time now that what we've seen is the imposition of functional skills into apprenticeships to replace the key skills that we have been successfully delivering for many a long year. We've been really worried that functional skills seem not to be fit for purpose yet. They may be in time. We don't think the case has been made. The trials have been done predominantly in a school environment with 14 to 16-year-olds, and here we are talking about apprenticeships, 16, 18, 25, 35, 45. Really, the approach needs to be different. We do actually believe that building functional skills up are best done in what we would call an embedded fashion within the workplace, relevant to the jobs that people are actually doing. And when the Minister announced this morning that he was putting on hold the switch over to functional skills, at least until next spring, and calling for a full review, the reaction of ALP members was to clap and cheer. They saw this as very important and gives us a chance for a really good debate to make sure that we're actually going in the right direction.
Do you see a future debate to be potentially around generalist skills with specialisms within functional skills so as employers can have a more specialist workforce?
Well, I think it comes back to the point I was making a bit earlier on, I think, with generic skills and as I say, special technical skills that are pertinent to a particular sector or an industry. But we're also talking about the development of these generic skills at school, which is, I mean, employers have been crying out for years saying they are not developed sufficiently by the time the youngsters get to 16 for them to take them and start putting the specialist sectoral skills in. So we're doing remedial work. So I think there's still quite a debate here about how much schools have developed functional, and I'm prepared to say employability skills. Whilst youngsters are still at school, and how much of that still needs to be done when they actually enter employment. Employers are saying they want it done before they come to employment. Leave us, please, the job of telling them how to be a bricklayer, a plumber, a hairdresser, a chef. We can do that, but please give us someone who's got good employable skills up front. The debate's in that area, and I think employers are up to doing their bit to put specific skills in. They want people with good generic skills to start with.
John Hayes today mentioned reducing bureaucracy. What's your take?
Well, words come easy. I actually do believe that John means it. I think it's absolutely genuine. Doing it might be a different kettle of fish, but we welcome the words and I think the genuine commitment. Our big concern at the moment with money getting tighter and tighter because of the national financial situation that we're in, that we have got to take out costs which do not have a direct impact on the outcomes that everyone seeks to deliver. The government wants the proper outcomes. Employers want proper outcomes, individuals want outcomes, and that's what we expect to get paid for. And what we're saying is we really cannot afford to be spending too much time on duplicatory processes or answering or being accountable for processes. Let's please concentrate on the delivery of the outcomes. If we deliver the outcomes that people want, then we expect to get paid for them. We do not want a great big bureaucratic machine coming in, watching us and asking us to fill in forms saying how we do it. They didn't need to ask us how we do it. The question should be, have you achieved the desired outcome? Yes, you have. Well done. Here's the money. Tick in a box. Move on and do another one, please. A lot of our time is actually telling people we've done it, getting them to come and check that we've done it. This has got to go. Process management, process inspection, process monitoring. We cannot as a nation afford it. It's a cost to the exchequer, it's a cost to provider. We need to strip it out and concentrate on getting the money straight to the front end and getting people qualified, work ready and into work.